Hi, video gamers. We have successfully finished the Game of the Year mixtape, the fully most anticipated video game of the decade, the one, the only, the lovely, the one that we know is going to be the Game of the Year award winner at the Game Awards this year. And it was okay. I mean, it feels like a weird game because it's like I don't know, like I think I don't think I was bored during the game, but it also kind of like it felt a little bit like a nothing burger. Um, the narrative is very I guess a good place to start is like the character was insufferable and I hated them. Really? Wait, that character? Which one? The main character? I feel like the big debacle that I've seen around this game is that people are saying that it's not a game, which is like seems this seems like a weird one to me to have that criticism for, because there's a lot of games out there that have significantly less gameplay than this. Like I brought food up, right? Because I was like, oh, I'll just eat while playing this game. But I didn't really have a lot of time to like just actually eat my food because there was like constantly things happening in the game that I had to react to with button prompts, with like controlling the characters, with with like interacting with things in rooms, right? And when I heard the criticism about the game, my assumption was that this would be a choice-based game where everything you do is just choices, right? Like, oh, it's a short 3-hour game, but you make some choices during the game. But there's no choices in the game. It's just straightforward from that perspective. But I mean, there's a lot of gameplay. I don't know. I don't know how anyone could play this and be like, oh, there's no gameplay in it. Like that seems strange to me. It's like it's very obviously like a very interactive game. So I don't know. Maybe when we read the Steam reviews, I'll get some insight on what actually people didn't like about that. But yeah, that's like it feels like there's so many other games out there that have significantly less gameplay than this. Maybe one completely self-absorbed. Sure. I mean, I can see that, but I don't know. That's a weird take that it's no gameplay. Yeah, like I purposely haven't read anything about this game because I was just wanted to play it myself and enjoy it. But all the like um talks I've seen about the game have been about have just been about people debating whether or not this is a game, right? That's been all the discussion about it. I've seen multiple threads like, is Mixtape a game? This is why Mixtape is not a game, and it sparked like this whole like people talking about like what isn't a game moment again, which happens every once in a while when one of these games come out that are kind of popular that people play, and then they're like, this wasn't even a game. And it's like this is such a game. I don't know. I don't know. Feels like there's like no arguments there. Gameplay doesn't quite matter. You don't have to move during skateboard segment. Throwing rocks is optional. Yeah, sure. Moving in our park is normally game though. I mean, I don't know. Would I say that if parts of the gameplay is optional, that doesn't make a gameplay? Like, I don't know. Maybe when you say you don't have to move during skateboard segment, you do though, don't you? Because if you keep getting hit by cars, then you just keep resetting infinitely, don't you? Or will the character automatically avoid cars if you're not moving the joystick? But I mean, even if we like, I guess a lot of the gameplay segments you don't have to play, and the parts that you're playing are mostly just walking around and pushing buttons. Character slightly more on its own. Okay, so it's not needed. Okay. Um, I guess you can say like it's like a gameplay optional game, but I don't know if I would still say that like that doesn't count as gameplay though. But I don't know. Um, I guess something we'll come back to towards the end of me talking about this is like For me, the big thing about whether or not something is a game is whether it benefits from the game mechanics that are present, right? Like if we look at what the interactivity of this, does it benefit from the game's medium in any way? And I guess what I was going to say earlier is that like the reason this game feels a bit weird to me is that it does feel like a movie narratively. It feels a lot like it is a movie from a narrative perspective. I don't think it would work as a movie, maybe, but like I don't know how you would tell. I guess you could tell the narrative in a very similar way as a movie, and that might be fine. Honestly, that might be fine, but um, I think for me the reason it feels like a movie isn't the gameplay, but it's the narrative and it's the pacing and the length, right? Like uh if you look at everything that happens in the game, it feels like it moves in a very like movie-like fashion where the beats of the story and the way the music plays into it, it's like very I don't know if cinematic is right term for it, but like it feels very movie-esque, right? Like we have a pacing that feels very movie-esque to me, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but that's probably why this doesn't jive with me personally, because it feels a little bit like there's like a thing missing for me that I don't know where to like position that in my brain. I don't know how to like describe what the problem would be for me narratively, but it feels like it feels maybe like too short or too maybe like it requires too much buy-in, right? Like I think the characters were fine. I didn't think they were too annoying or anything, but I like a wide variety of people for a wide variety of reasons. So people being different and like being self-centered isn't necessarily like a big problem to me. I think that's interesting. Um, but I feel like like with a lot of these kind of shorter games, it feels like we're kind of starting the story a little bit in the middle, where we're like, the entire premise from the beginning already is, I'm leaving, right? And that kind of looms over us the entire time. But then we never really have enough time to let that like settle in, and we do see how it affects the other characters, but not in any way that I consider like to be super meaningful. I still think the performances were good, and I still think the writing was good, right? Like I said, I wasn't like bored during any point, but I don't know if I don't know how is this supposed to be like a game where you feel sad, or are you supposed to be happy, or a bit of both, right? Like I never really felt any strong emotional highs or lows throughout the game, so I guess that's kind of like where I'm at from a story perspective. Like when you get to the end of the game and he's like, "See you tomorrow." Like, am I supposed to? That's the moment I'm supposed to like sit there and just feel melancholy and be like, "Man, what a journey," uh, or is it not that deep? It's just supposed to be like a short, quaint, well animated game where the music's like I thought the music was decent in this, but I liked it the most. And this kind of problem I had with Baby Driver that we watched recently as a movie night. When Baby Driver uses the music very, 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 very like directly, where it like interacts with the world, I love that stuff, and I love that in this too, right? Where either you're like hitting the baseball bat, or everyone's like headbanging in the car, or whatever. Like all the times where it's like the music is directly playing into what's happening. Love that. The scene where she stands up to her dad, that was great. That was like really, really, really good. If the game had more scenes like that, I would have loved it. But the music doesn't feel incidental, right? It feels very, very intentional, and I bet the people that made this are like giga music nerds without a single doubt in my mind, right? But I don't know if the music hits the same without maybe like the cultural impact of like growing up with that type of music, or understanding the impact that music has, or like the meaning behind the music, or the people, right? Like I don't know if it works beyond the music nerd perspective. So like I never felt like the music was like out of place or that it was unnecessary, but I didn't feel like it was utilized to a degree where it always felt meaningful, I guess. Um, yeah, just from a gameplay perspective, like I think I would call this a game probably. Um, Big question, like I said, is like, would this work in a different medium, right? Like, if you made the comic book, would it work? I would say comic book, no. Animated film, animated short film, maybe that would be better for this game. I'm not sure. Like, do I feel? Does the game have gameplay? Yeah, I feel like that's undeniable for me personally. I think there's enough in this game that's gameplay. Do I think that game is like revolutionary enough to like to play this for the gameplay? Of course not. It's not a game that you play for the gameplay. But like the more important question is like, would this be better in a different format? A lot of the times what I ask about games like it's like, does it feel like they made this as a game because they wanted it to be a game, or did they make it as a game because making a game can be easier than making something else, right? Like, if this was an animated short film or an animated film, how much more money would that cost to make? And at a good quality, and how popular would it be, right? And the answer is probably significantly more risky as a animated film than it is as a game. So the question is, did they make this as a game because they saw the hurdles to make it as an animated film? And you know what? Let's just make a game out of it, right? No, obviously there's no way to know that, but I'm really debating this in my head, right? I'm trying to think about this game. Like, if I don't have the gameplay, but we still have a lot of the same elements. Narrative, of course, like from a pacing perspective, it works perfectly as a movie, but I don't know. I think I kind of like the what I don't like about the game is the generic you're in a room, interact with things stuff. I feel like that stuff is like, I'm a little bit over that. That's like every game in this genre does that. Life is Strange did that. How long ago? 20 years ago, or was that 2013? It could be 13 years ago. I think it came out the same year as The Last of Us Part 1. But like, Life is Strange did that in 2013 or something, and games probably that before that too, right? Like, they interact with things in the room, but this is a lot of parallels to Life is Strange. I feel like a lot of the same, like the music focus is the same as Life is Strange. The the like characterizations a little bit, the like fantastical elements, the idyllic West Coast town. I'm actually interacting with everything in rooms in Elden Ring, yeah. Well, in Elden Ring I would love it, to be clear, because I want more lore, but it's just from a pacing perspective, it just feels like it's so slow to me, right? You're just like, you're walking around in a room and it's like, oh, I remember when we sat outside and played with the deck of cards. Wow. Do you remember when you got to the royal flush? That was crazy. Oh, this toothbrush. We've been together with so many things. Toothbrush. I can't believe that you still have the pee bottle. Wow. Remember this was full of pee? Oh, the metal thermos. I remember when we were outside and we drank out of this thing and it was cold. My lucky coin. This thing got me through so many things. My mobile phone opener thingy. Remember when you forgot your SIM card and we had to open the mobile phone? Your oh, the hand squeezer thing. Wow, I'm squeezing it. It's being squeezed right now. Squeezy squeezy. The PlayStation controller. We used to play so many games back in the day. Thermos number 2 for training. Wow, look at it. It opens up. That's crazy. A sock on the table. Remember when this was on my foot? What is this genre called? That's a good question. What would we call this genre? It's not a visual novel, so it would be like I don't know, like a narrative story slop. Yeah, story slop. I would call something narrative, like what would a short film be in like a game form, you know? Walking simulator? I would not call this a walking simulator. I think this has too much gameplay for a walking simulator. Thanks for showing us all your boring crap, yawn. Wow, my cellular phone. Remember that time you called me? You know, you get the drift, right? Like, I like learning more about characters in games like this, which is why I go through all the stuff in the rooms. I don't mind, like, I like that part. I just think that doing it is very tedious, right? It's like, you pick a thing up, and then you wait for them to be done talking about it, probably saying something that doesn't matter, pick another thing up, just rinse and repeat, right? Like, I feel like we can probably evolve on that part of the genre. We can probably do something new with that at this point. That isn't just doing the same thing. And, you know, it just kind of slows the pacing down for not, like, a lot of reason. And I guess arguably in this game it makes more sense than other games, because in this game you're you know, when we played Lost Records, Bloom and Gloom, Bloom and Gloom, in that one you're kind of snooping on people and you're learning about them, but you're still in the present there. This one feels more from the future, right? From the perspective of like you're reminiscing about people because you're about to leave them. So I don't know. Just a thing, I guess. Yeah, I like. I think other than that, I think the gameplay in this was fine, and I kind of enjoyed it. I felt like it added to the moments. I felt like being able to like interact in those scenes was meaningful, and it did bring me some joy. I liked painting the door, you know, stuff like that is cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna settle the great debate on whether or not this is a game, but I would definitely say for me, like, I mean, it's no doubt that this is a game. Would I recommend this to people that like hardcore gameplay? Of course not, but why would they play this to begin with? You would have to be a little bit cuckoo. It's cheap too. If you look at Steam, I was actually surprised by how. But this is probably like a very reasonable price for this. It's a good old 189 kroner. So like it's like $18, $20. Is that visual novel a game? Yeah, sure. Visual novels are games. I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess they are. It would depend a little bit maybe, but like visual novels, you generally speaking have choices in them. I think if the visual novel had no interaction at all, then I probably wouldn't call it a game, right? If you're not making any choices and all you're doing is just clicking next, then I would just call it like a visual comic or something, I guess. But I think as long as it has game elements, or like you're interacting with something, mixtape genre. You're walking around in a room and it's like, oh, I remember when we sat outside and played with the deck of cards. Wow. We call those kinetic novels, okay. Yeah. Like the big debate for what is and isn't a game is people believe that for something to be a game, it needs to have a certain level of interactivity or gameplay mechanics, right? And usually the argument would be that something like this isn't a game, like Mixtape, it's not a game. It's it's an interactive movie or something, is what they would say, right? That would be the usual argument, and we might find some of that down in the comments here. Like this person, just call it this Ida person just said industry plant, right? So we just got thumbs down on this one. We could also give, if I had reward, well, how does this work? As we can also just give them a reward, right? We'll do one of these. Please confirm an reward. Can I not give multiple awards? Oh, but oh no. I wanted to give every award. What is race in the game is relevant. The real question is it good? Sure. Yeah, but a lot of people hung up on it, right? So this game got a lot of the accolades that Lost Records deserved. While putting in significant effort, the game spends a lot of budget on soundtrack to distract from a terminal lack of compelling characterization. Everything here is surface level narcissism, but absolutely nothing to say that every movie from the 80s about teenagers already said. Absolutely abysmal waste of 3 hours of my life. Oh my god, that's so funny. This is my top 5 favorite bad games of all time. If you're making a mediocre title, be brave enough to be terrible. Oh my god, so funny. That's so funny, holy crap. I played this game to win a bet, and I still feel like I lost. It's like watching a film, only crap like a film about being crap, only more crap. Do not waste your time. The only good reviews are from people being paid, and they couldn't pay me enough to promote this game. Overhyped, nostalgic American dream sequences filled with licensed music that shouldn't have been affordable for a so-called indie game. What the hell? There are no choices to be had. It's basically one. Yo, what's up, Jin? Hello. Want some gin with that stream? Drinking on Twitch? Hello, what's up, everyone? Here, let me do some shoutouts. Clips. Is there a clip player on the screen? Down there? There you go. Yo!
Spoiler alert, I
Life is Strange 2.
in the first game.
What? No! You did what? What the hell? No!
It's parry and nothing.
We're about to just get annihilated.
Oh, I thought I could parry the mortal hit.
Well, hey, good. Look at this. Very relevant. This person is talking about Life is Strange right here. Wait, where did I go? There. This guy's person talking about Life is Strange right here. Hello, video gamers. Endaline here, video game broadcaster. Currently, we just finished this game, Mixtape, and I'm giving my thoughts on it. So if you're planning to play Mixtape, I would close my ears, run away immediately. Otherwise, feel free to stay for the end of this fantastic thoughts. And then I'm also leaving, so good luck. Super Bridget Radio, how's your stream? What were you up to? Were you just talking to people? And hello, everyone. Oh, here's a proper shout out. Everyone, please go check out Jin. First thing about the chat. Give a follow right there. What an appropriate first clip too. Showing off my new stream trailer I worked on the last week or so. Is it on your channel? Your stream trailer for your channel? What the hell? I should make a stream trailer. It should just be all my worst clips. I'm uploading right now. Awesome. I can go check it out later then. But yeah, we are, like I said, we just finished Mixtape, so if you are worried about Mixtape, if you're planning to play Mixtape, which, you know, I would probably say if you like games like Life is Strange, probably worth checking out at least, but, you know, whether else is better is, I guess, up for debate, which is what we're debating currently. Damn, the clear obscure music is very, very addicting, huh? I'll probably check it out then. We're currently I'm trying to find people that says it doesn't have any gameplay. I want to see what the argument is, but I'm having some trouble with it. Like, this game is bad. Oh, Life is Strange mentioned again. I do agree that it is a very Life is Strange game for sure. Game is a good walking simulator, kind of boring if you're not into USA culture or asshole adolescents. Whoa, what the hell? They can say that? Oh, this guy wrote a big review. Bronze medal. Fake reviews. This was absolutely terrible. Refunded when I noticed there was 0 gameplay. Waste of time. That person knows what is up. Oh my god, the people are so triggered by this game. This game is absolutely not a 10. This game feels like what rich people think real friend groups act like. Not to mention, the writers think that learning to tolerate the main character being a terrible person is a character arc. The game, more like interactive movie, is littered with egocentric writing and corny lines that are real put off. Oh my god, they're so triggered. 9 hours? What did you do in this game for 9 hours? Whatever, these people are really mad. Okay, this one, it seems like they're talking about what we're talking about. I've never before written a review for a game on Steam, but holy hell, this game was too bad for me not to do so. And it's especially worrisome to me seeing this game somehow launching with a 95% positive store rating, to the point where I'm convinced this must have been astroturfed in some way. Because, like, did we play the same game? So to start, let's say something straight. Mixtape isn't a video game. There's no consistent gameplay formula or genre you can attach to Mixtape because at the end of the day, it isn't trying to be a video game. There are odd minigames, most of which are optional, as you can just not press anything, the game will do it for you, or just let you skip out on it. But most of the moments of the gameplay is just you walking up to pick up items, pressing the X button, and watching a flashback cutscene. In reality, this is an interactable movie, even running at the same length a long film might. If you're looking to actually play a game, this isn't for you. Okay, glad to know I don't have a solo crazy opinion. Oh, you mean about the characters being unlikable that we were talking about? But let's say you want to watch an interactable movie. Does Mixtape at least work as a film? No, not even in the slightest. The dialogue ranges wildly in quality, the game opposite a quirky fourth wall breaking monologue, and things honestly only get worse from there. Despite priding itself on its mid-90s nostalgia setting, the dialogue ends up being a strange blend between 90s slang, over-exaggerated California accent, and strangely modern lingo and internet speak that doesn't at all fit into the cohesive whole. The characters range from frustrating to decently likable at times. Slater, even in spite of his cringe dialogue at the beginning, does end up being the most standout character come the final act. But our protagonist, Stacy, talks like a moron, and Cassandra never gets any better, which is a big problem, seeing as how their relationship ends up being an big emotional through line for the last 2 acts of the game. So otherwise, there isn't much going on. Generic coming-of-age story, a la Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You've seen any films similar to that, you know what the story is going to play out. The way the story is told, however, is where the game fails the hardest. I saw a Twitter user describe the game as being full of Family Guy cutaways, which, while humorous, is actually the most accurate and damning description I could give of this game's story. Nearly 80% of the game, I would say, is spent exploring disconnected flashbacks, which seek to establish the characters' histories and personality traits for our 3 protagonists. Not only is this an ineffective mode of storytelling, as many of these flashbacks feel worthless and disconnected from the current story, but the gameplay never enhances any of these moments either. The silver lining are the visual artistry and the licensed music, but you're better off watching an animated Sony movie with the same art style these devs blatantly copied, or simply listening to music separately from this piece of crap game they've attached it to. As a story, that gets me 4 out of 10, slightly below average, but as a game, it's a 1 out of 10. Oh my god, they're so mad. Jesus Christ. Take me back to the store page, Jarvis. I think this kind of story is leading the watcher to get up close and understand the characters, and if the characters are interesting development, what's the point of them being an insufferable asshole? I guess I just don't see the character as being an insufferable asshole, you know? I guess maybe that's the disconnect from me. It's still in the very... Yeah, I mean, of course. When I look at a game like this, for me personally, I think of the characters as like the people they are, and then where they came from, and how they like got to where they are, and then I'm like, do I feel like it? Like, would I hang out with these people? Yeah, seems like a cool group of people to hang out with. What's the native country of the writer for the game? Probably America, I would assume. It was made by Beethoven and Dinosaur. Australia? Australia? Johnny Galvatron. What the hell? The Galvatrons? Beethoven? Oh, yeah, Beethoven, you're right. Well, that's the type of humor and the way characters act can be different in culture depending on where they're from. Yeah, for sure. I'd like to apologize on behalf of the people of Australia. Wait, do you also hate this game that much? So one of the creators is like a band dude. That makes sense, I guess. I've learned more than once that the character I enjoy others find insufferable and the other way around. I mean, people had problems with the writing in Life is Strange. Because they complained that they were like, oh, people in America don't talk like this. But they were upset that the two creators of it are like French, right? It's like Jean-Luc Picard or whatever. Oh wait, okay, on the wrong thing. Like Michel Koch and Raoul Berbet and Luc Bagthaust. People are like upset that they're like, oh, people in America don't talk like this because they say they like no one in America says hello or whatever. But the actual writer for the game wasn't them, right? It's this guy. This is the guy that actually wrote the game. And he is an American, right? Like, I don't know who wrote Mixtape, but generally speaking, if you're like doing a different, hella cringe, exactly. I guess we don't know the writer for the. I mean, we could look at the credits, I guess, but I guess we don't know exactly who the writer for this is. But I didn't have any problem with the Americanism in this. Maybe if you are an American, you have some problem with it, but yeah, I didn't at least. Hella wild. I don't really care. At the end of the day, I think it's fine if people like it. Not every game is for everyone. Yeah, for sure. As an American, I knew Jack. I think I like the characters in this. I think these people would be cool to hang out with. But I guess maybe my threshold for like people that are different than me, or people that have, selfish attitudes, or that act differently, or that have negative traits is higher than most people, maybe. And I find that a bit more intriguing, I guess. I kind of like different. So maybe my threshold for that type of behavior is a bit higher than they censored the fingers than some people would be. Yeah, I thought the characters were fine. Like I said, I would hang out with these people. I would love to be part of this friend group. I think that would be cool. But I think I would move on to be friends with them specifically because they're so like characterized, like that, because they're so different, because they have the personalities that they do. I found that interesting. I like people that just are themselves too, right? And these are characters that are like very distinctly themselves in a lot of cases. So, and I don't know if I agree that like there's like no character growth, or even if that's like the point necessarily. But then again, I would like what is the point? You can kind of ask, I guess. I'm trying to think like, what are we saying right now? Like, where are we at in our thoughts for this video game? Oh, we could before we come to the conclusion, let's see what these fine reviewers had to say. Anyone here that hated it? Look at all these people; they loved it. All these critics loved this game. Harvey Randall loved it. How does it have like an 8.7 when so many people are giving it like 9s and 10s? Oh, I guess that makes sense. Damn, critics loved this game. What do you think the average age of these critics are? Do you think they're like 90 heads? Maybe if the story was longer, I would have more time to see that, but they are so frustrating, I would probably zone out eventually. Yeah, and that's kind of my biggest gripe, right? Is, ooh, this person, not a fan. That's kind of my problem, right? Is I feel like the game is not long enough for me to appreciate it. Because, like, it kind of ends up, that's kind of my problem with it, I guess. I'm not gonna read all this. I just want to see if there's a conclusion. The nicest thing that can be said about Mixtape is that it has imaginative visuals and that the animation quality is pretty good. American fans won't find much intrigue or excitement because the experience is suffocatingly automated and all the set pieces offer no challenge. The biggest sin Mixtape commits is that it's ultimately insufferably boring and pretentious. There are a lot of people that keep saying that, like that it's pretentious. I don't know if I get that vibe. Is this like I wonder if a lot of people, if they feel like they don't get the game, or that the game is dealing with like trying to tell like a story that is has a bit of depth to it, and they don't get it. Is that pretentious? Is that where we're getting pretentious from? Is that why so many people are saying this is pretentious? Because like if I experience a story, but the story feels like it goes over my head or my shoulders, is that when I should feel like the person is pretentious? Usually, if people don't understand something, they're critical. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm kind of feeling like too, right? It's like I don't. Here's my problem. I don't understand the musical themes of this game enough to analyze whether this was pretentious or not. And I feel like you would almost need like a degree in music to do that. But I've been called pretentious to care about wine or what glass I drink from. Simple, but still something that makes you go, "Huh? What the hell?" And I feel like pretentious has like, I feel like it needs to have like a lot of like build up around it, you know? Pretentious describes the act of trying to appear more important, intelligent, cultured, or talented than you actually are. Did I feel like this game was trying to appear more important, intelligent, cultured, or talented than it actually is? Like, I don't know, is it? It just felt like an artistic game made by people that like music, you know what I mean? I never felt like the game was like insulting my intelligence or trying to like make me feel bad because I didn't get it. So I don't know. I feel like that's a bad argument, but yeah. I think if one of the debates around this game is this a video game, I would say it's a video game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Is this a is it a hardcore video game that people should play if they are super giga into mechanics? Of course not, but that's a lot of video games. A lot of video games don't have a crazy amount of mechanics, right? That doesn't make them not video games. I think pretentious shouldn't apply to personal choices that don't affect anyone else. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, yeah. I don't know, like, what's a good example of someone that's pretentious, you know? I'm trying to think of, like, when was the last time I interacted with someone that's being pretentious? Am I being pretentious right now? Am I acting more intelligent than I actually am? Okay, here's an example. He constantly brought up obscure foreign directors in casual conversation, which many of his friends found pretentious. Sure, I can see that being a bit pretentious. Like, that's a good example for me, right? It would be like, you are being post-tentious. Good. I assume that's the opposite. I think like, I feel like that makes what Deb say click in my brain, right? Like, if I'm choosing to interact with this game, they're not force feeding this game to me, right? And it's a game that is about music, and music has a big part in it. So can you be pretentious about something that someone chooses to interact with. Is that possible? I don't know. That seems weird, right? Pretentious to me, like the conversation thing makes sense to me, right? Like, if you take the wine example, right? Like people are drinking wine at like a party, and you walk up with your wine, and it's like, you sniff their wine glass, like, oh, what is that? A Chardonnay? Oh, how boring. Oh, like that would be pretentious to me, right? Like, but I like if you're at like a wine tasting or something where the point is like taste and enjoy wine, and someone is like very into it, and they're like, they're sniffing the wine, and they're like, yeah, that's what you're there for, right? Like like if you didn't want to see people do that, don't sign up for it. I don't think that's being pretentious, but yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are calling it pretentious though, but I guess that's just like the phrase you do when you don't understand something and you have to like find something to blame that for, right? Like why is this game not for me? Oh, it's pretentious, right? It's not just, oh, I didn't just vibe with me, right? But yeah, I think is this a game? Yeah, we can just say it's a game. Is it pretentious? I would just say no. I didn't feel like my intelligence was being insulted. It felt to me like this was a game, and I think I said this constantly. It felt to me like a game that was made by people that really, really like music and that have a big interest in music and that was really into the like, post 90s genres. And that's awesome. Good for them. Didn't feel like they were trying to like shove anything down my throat. I feel like all the music was well placed. I think the narrative themes kind of worked. My complaint with this game would never be that like they didn't use the music effectively. It wouldn't be that the music doesn't tie into the story. It all does. If I had any complaint, it's just that for such a short game, it tells a story that I feel needs more build up and needs more interaction, right? Like I feel like I have to buy too much into the story, and what that usually translates to is that if you're the person that this game relates to, this is going to be a 10 out of 10 for you. You're going to have the best experience imaginable, right? If you grew up in the area where this game is set, and you kind of have this experience like skating down the hills, being on the beach with your friends, sneaking out to drink, having bullshit parents, right? If you're that person, this game's probably going to be really good for you, right? Like you're probably going to vibe with the whole having these friends that are like disparate to you, but you're kind of together because of various reasons. You're a bit of like an outcast group, right? Is a 10 out of 10 game. But if you're not that person, which I am not, then I have to build into that my self emotion, which I can't do, right? I'm okay with dropping a wine I didn't like at a party before, while other friends were extremely happy with it because I had won a best in test, but I won't be talking loudly about it. If others enjoy it, I'll just drink something else. Yeah. Yeah, and like I think like in an example like that, if people are enjoying something and you go out of your way to like put them down, I would say that's pretentious, right? But if you're just like, oh, I don't like this, is that being pretentious? No, of course not. If it's about music, it makes sense that it's diving into more obscure names. Yeah, and that's the vibe I'm getting, right? Like I don't even know if this are like it was like Smashing Pumpkins and stuff in the game. I don't know if these songs are obscure. It's just old music. This is probably like music that most people from that generation know, I assume, right? They were talking about like Smashing Pumpkins, Green Day, right? Like I don't know. There are a lot of music in this that I recognize, so I don't even know if I would say it's like obscure music. Maybe this is the pretentious take. As a game maker, you could choose to make a party game that's a whole purpose, that's just having fun with your mates, or you can choose to make a game that's for music nerds, with really deep cuts, whose main character is unlikable, and the story maybe doesn't deserve to be told. What is the purpose of making that game? It's a different aim to the party game, I think. Yeah, sure. But I like... My counter-argument to that, and I think that's a problem with a game like this, my counter-argument to that is that, like, I think the beauty of art is that you can make art that fits everyone, or that fits very, very few people, right? You can make a game that's meant for basically anyone, right? Like you make some Stardew Valley, you make Stardew Valley, you are Steam charts. You make Stardew Valley, you're like on the top. You're the top 14 game played constantly. because it's just a game that anyone can enjoy, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And you can hear from when we hear Curious Ape or whatever his name is, you can hear when he talks about Stardew Valley that approachability and accessibility and making a game that a lot of people will enjoy is a goal for him, right? He wants this game to be a game that a lot of people just really like, and you can apply it to a lot of these games. I don't know what Taskbar Hero is, but you can apply it to a lot of the games you will see on this list, right? There's gonna be a lot of like very approachable games here, especially games that have been popular for this, like Stardew Valley, right? Like this game has been like really popular for a long time, and it's just getting more and more popular too, which is crazy. But you can make those games, but you can also make a game that's meant for a very niche audience, right? And the problem with games for niche audiences is that when your intended audience plays this game, they give it a 10 out of 10 because this game is so good, they love it. It's absolutely perfect for them, right? And then other people see that, they're like, oh shit, people are giving this game a 10 out of 10, and then they try it, and it's absolutely not for them. And that's kind of the theme we're seeing with the reviews here, right? You know, like this Ida person. You know, obviously, this was not a game for them. They're just fuming at the mouth, just slobbering, going, I'm mad. There's a lot of these negative reviews that's correct. There's a lot of these negative reviews that are like overhyped, right? Where I know this is a book review, so yes, and this happens a lot, right? It's that some game, I don't want to go to the front page of Steam because there's going to be porn there probably, but you will have games that are a lot of. I just realized that good show. Some games that are very niche will get very good reviews because they target the niche they're for, right? So they will hit that niche. Then other people will play that, and they'll be like, "This is the shittiest game I've ever played," right? Immortality, one of the best games I've ever played. Hopefully, no nudity in this. One of the best games I've ever played. Well, you'll probably see the exact same thing here, right? There's gonna be a lot of people here probably that are like, I don't get why why people like this game. There's probably gonna be a lot of reviews like that. Oh, everyone just saying it's a good game. Coming from her story, I was pretty disappointed. I hate all these things. Yes, well, that's what the book is about. Yeah. Yeah, we have. There was another game like this recently. I can't remember what game it was, but we had another game recently that had the same problem where it wasn't a game made for a lot of people, but people saw that it got good reviews, so they played it, and I was like, oh, this is shit, right? And Bella, thank you. Well, and like, yeah, like we see the reviewers here too, right? Like a lot of the reviewers were just giving this like really good really good reviews. I closed Open Critic? No. Open Critic Mixtape. So people see these reviews and they're like, oh my god, IGN gave it a 10. That's crazy. This must be a really good game. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. 4 out of 5, right? Bella! And then they play it assuming that a 10 out of 10 game is a 10 out of 10 for everyone, and then it ends up being bad, right? It's like, oh, this wasn't 10 out of 10 for everyone. Yeah. I think we've yapped enough. I think we've done a good job yapping about video games. Let's put it here. Mixtape. Mixtape. We've streamed 22 games so far this year. Pretty good. And the best one obviously was Eternights. Alright. Enda rating. 10, a flawless masterpiece. 9, everyone should play this. 8, great experience for playing. 7, good, play if it sounds fun. 6, alright, play if you like the genre. 5, average. 4, still a functioning game. 3, barely worth playing. 2, everyone should avoid this. 1, no redeemable qualities. No, it has no redeemable qualities. I'm thinking about where to put this game. The two things that I think a lot about when I think about how to judge games personally is, well, three things, I guess. Is how was I bored during playing the game, right? Like, was I engaged while playing the game? Did I feel bored? Was like, oh god, is this going to be over soon? And I would say for Mixtape, that didn't really happen. But I also knew it was a short game. I kind of liked, stilled my expectations. Maybe if I went in not looking at the playtime, I could have gone like, oh shit, I hope this isn't like a 5-hour or 10-hour game, you know. But I definitely didn't feel bored. I feel like the interactive elements kept me engaged throughout. You know, it felt like I was always doing something. My hands were always busy playing the actual game. I actually like the characters. I like the characterization. I like the music. So I would say I wasn't bored. 2 is like, do I think this game is memorable in any way? Like, am I going to remember this game? And I think, generally speaking, I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. You know, if I'm going to remember anything about this game, it's going to be like the debates around the game. It's is this a game? Is it a game? Is this a game? Oh, it's a cinematic experience. That's what I'm going to remember. I'm not going to like, wake up in a year from now and think like, man, that scene in Mixtape was really good. It did have a couple of good scenes, but nothing that I think like particularly stood out in my head. This is one of those games that like a year from now, someone will be like, "Did you play Mixtape?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." There are games that we play where I'm like, Final Fantasy 16. I'm still thinking about the ending for that game to this day randomly. I'm just like, "Oh shit, that ending was good." There's a lot of games that we play where elements of the game just pop up in my brain all the time. Or when we play games like this, playing this game, Life is Strange in my head all the time, right? Even Lost Record popped up in my head during this, right? Am I ever going to be like, oh, Mixtape? Probably not. So, from a memorability perspective, pretty low. And then the last thing is like, how easy would it be for me to recommend this game? And that's where, like, who am I recommending this game to? For the most part, I would probably rather recommend Lost Record, or I would recommend Life is Strange, The benefit of this game is two things, right? Like, one, it's a very cheap game. There's like 20 euros. That's super, super cheap for an experience like this. But and it's a short game too, right? So you can play through this in a sitting. That's awesome. But like, who would I recommend this to? I think we'll put. I think like a 6 number, like a 6.9 is good for this one. I think putting this like at a high genre game makes sense to me. It has elements that are good enough independently that this game could be worth playing for a lot of people. If you like the music, if you're a big music person, then you might find a lot interesting in this. If you are into this specific setting, you might love this game. If you had a similar dynamic growing up, might be into it, right? The sort of things the game has going from a genre perspective, I think. It's short, it's cheap, right? These are the things that I would like to put as positives for the game. And I see the potential for it being very memorable, right? For me, not very memorable, but it has a high memorability threshold. I can see a lot of people really like digging this game and thinking about it for a long time. So I think that's a fair rating for it. Like a play if it sounds fun game, to me it's just like it has to like transcend this genre a little bit. No, I feel like this transcends the genre, not really. Not interactive enough. Plays on a lot of like all the genre tropes, right? So I think that's fair. Open Critic was like an 8.9 or something, 8.7. So 8.7. Streamed, yes. Cool. Alright. Boop. Let me remove this. Hi, video gamers. Good video gaming session today. We started a bit late, but we wouldn't have a time for Kingdom Come Deliverance anyway. But that means that when we come back on Saturday, regular time 12:00 time, 12 p.m. GMT +2, get through down the local time, so it's all good stuff. We are going to be jumping into Kingdom Come Deliverance, everyone's favorite video game, and we're definitely not playing Yakuza 7 and killing Amon. Kingdom Come. Let me see if anyone's streaming right now, otherwise I just gotta head out. I got a dog to walk. Ooh, teeny Lily early stream, what the hell? Playing the piano? We're still doing Hollow Knight on Tuesdays for the time being. Kingdom Come will be a long game. That's probably gonna take us a while to finish. It should be fun though. We're gonna play with some of the piano, yeah. We're gonna play with some of the like hardcore modifiers. That should be fun, I think. But yeah, that's gonna be on Saturday. So if you're new, feel free to stream the Discord, good stuff. Giga Variety Gamer. We do video games around here from time to time. I just finished 4 short games, jumping into another big game. I want to try to play like way more short games every year, so if we like cross some stuff off the list. But we're doing a good effort this year at least. I enjoyed Mixtape. It was fun overall. Glad I played it. I look forward to entering the debate field on this one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for raid from Jin. Everyone, please go check Jin out as well. Fantastic video game broadcaster. I don't think what else there's to say. I don't think there's much. Pick a Walker game next time. This was oh, Raider. Raider. This was surprisingly unwoke, huh? Do you notice that? You notice that it wasn't that woke? No, they didn't put that much woke into this. The people can't complain because they didn't have girls kissing or whatever. Bye? No. Bye to you, Deb. Trust me. Bye to you. Not enough gay and brown. True. Good game, though. I wonder how this one's gonna sit in my brain. I wonder if sometimes when I rate a game, I'm like, oh, I should have given that a higher score. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I should have given that a way lower score. I feel pretty good about this one, though, I think. We'll see where I'm at in like a year from now. But yeah, that's it for me. Love you all, appreciate you all. I will be back a couple days on Saturday. Have a great rest of your week, have a great Friday. Keep button powers, and bye-bye. I was stitching my clothes. How about you stitch this? A bench, a cup.